Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Kaluzhny. I'm a high school student working at GlobalForestLink. This is a project where you get to talk to students from different countries and publish your own authentic research about forest change. Today I'll guide you through exactly how GlobalForestLink works and what you, the student participants, will be doing. Before we get started, why are we even focused on forest change, and why should you be? It's not only about plants and animals somewhere far away. There's many ways forest health impacts our lives. First off, 1/5 of the world population depends on forests for every aspect of their lives, like food, shelter, and clothing. These are mostly people in countries far away from the US, like Indonesia, Australia, Kenya, and India. But it's not like forests don't matter here. Most of the US water supply comes from forests, and the water doesn't simply flow through them. Trees remove harmful minerals from the water, and when the trees don't filter it for us, we have to do more work. There's a lot of equipment that goes into making water safe, and your taxes are paying for it. Another reason is that forests are biodiversity hotspots. They only cover about 30% of Earth's land, but they're home to 80% of land species. Just one example why biodiversity matters to us is that in agriculture we modify crops using genes from wild species. The more species there are, the more options we have. The final reason I'll mention is that large forests change weather patterns around the world. If the Amazon rainforest, which is shown here, were to disappear tomorrow, rainfall patterns would change across the entire continent. You could get disgusting dry weather and more expensive food because crops need rain to grow. At GlobalForestLink, or GFL, we're all fighting deforestation and low forest health. What you do, basically, is you gather data from your local forests, interview an expert, and use GlobalForestWatch, an innovative forest monitoring website, and then you compile all of that research into a short video, or digital story. Then, teachers and fellow students and internet users from many countries see it and learn what you've learned. So, our official GFL goals are to engage you in dialogue about forest change with students around the world, to teach you about modern Earth observation technologies, and to help you learn to communicate and present information effectively. And now comes the part where you learn the specifics of what you'll be doing. But firstly, a brief summary. You will take photos of local forests and record corresponding data. Then, what we do is we compile your uploaded photos and data into a database that scientists can use. And what you do is while you're going through the forest, you'll likely come up with some questions about that forest and its health. So, you answer these questions through researching using GlobalForestWatch, talking to experts, talking to your peers, and then you explain what you've learned in a digital story, which is basically a 3-minute video. And this is a nice chart that shows the different components of your research. If this is your face right now, relax, because detailed step-by-step instructions are next. So, the first thing you do before you start on any of the actual project is you take the pre-project survey. Your school will provide you with the link. Then, to kind of get into it, you skim through our tutorials. Feel free to watch these more attentively along the course of your project. Then, you get into a small team with your peers, though you can work alone if you prefer, and you go out into a local nature park or forest where each of you takes 5 photos and a short video clip. Now, it'll make things a lot easier later on if instead of randomly taking photos, you spot out interesting things like a dried out river, burned trees, trees that seem to be infected, etc. This could become the starting point of your research. For every picture you take, you'll fill out a form. In the forest, you fill out a paper form, and then when you come back, you transfer all the information to an online form. Some of the questions might confuse you, so more information on how to fill the forms is in the third tutorial on the tutorials page. Once you've submitted the forms, upload your photos to globalforestlink.com/gallery. We'll link your photos to GlobalForestWatch and use them to build a gallery, also known as the database, which you can explore also. So, now comes the exciting part where you do research. The first thing you'll be using for research is GlobalForestWatch, which in their own words is an interactive online forest monitoring website that empowers people everywhere to better manage and conserve forests. More information on how to use it is in tutorials 4 through 6, but it's also a good idea to spend time exploring it on your own. The next thing you'll use for research is other sources. These are 3 sources with plenty of good, accurate data, but there's a lot more listed on our tutorial. Feel free to use any reliable sources you've discovered as well. Finally, you will interview a forest expert. It's important to do your other research before this step so you can ask knowledgeable questions and you're not wasting the expert's time. Another thing is, try to film a part of your interview, because the next step is to create a digital story or video. You can include your initial forest photos and footage, aspects of your research, part of your interview with the expert, satellite images from GlobalForestWatch, and anything else that's relevant. You can totally get creative as long as you don't plagiarize. There's some questions that your video has to answer to meet our requirements, but tutorial number 9 walks you through those, so I won't get into it now. There's also a rubric for evaluating your digital stories, and you should try to read it before you begin. Once you're done, make sure that your video is no longer than 3 minutes, no larger than 1 gigabyte. Complete the story submission form, and submit. You are now done with your work. Congratulations! You also get the chance to win an award in one of our 3 categories. You will later be provided with information about the number of awards and what they consist of. Wow, that was a lot of information, so if you're still this guy, you can pause this video here where all the steps are in one slide. You may be wondering when you'll be doing all of this. Here is a list of events and activities. The exact dates for this year's project will be provided to you. If you still need some motivation to participate, well, I'll sum things up for you. Firstly, you get the chance to talk to students your age from participant countries around the world, which is not something you get to do every day. Another thing is, all these students and some of their teachers and even some internet users will see your video, so this is a chance to raise awareness and make an impact. You also learn about satellite imaging, a rapidly expanding technology that you may encounter along your career path,